Hello friends, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be talking about a powerful demonstration of modern drone warfare. On June 24, 2025, the Ukrainian Navy used a Baykar TB2 drone to strike a moving Russian landing craft in the Kherson region using a precision-guided MAM-L munition. This isn't just another attack. This event shows how drones are completely changing the way wars are fought, especially at sea. Let's break down what happened, how it happened, and what it means for the future of naval warfare. The Ukrainian Navy released dramatic video footage showing the Turkish-made TB2 drone tracking a Russian Project 1176 Akula-class landing craft, which was moving near the Dnipro River Delta in the Kherson region. The TB2 locked on, dropped a MAM-L bomb, and scored a direct hit on the moving vessel. Vice Admiral Oleksiy Nyzhpapa, commander of Ukraine's naval forces, confirmed the strike, calling it a sign of Ukraine's renewed naval drone capability. Now, why is this significant? Because this is the first confirmed TB2 naval strike in many months, especially since Russian air defenses had largely grounded these drones in earlier phases of the war. Let's understand what makes the Baykar TB2 such a special platform. Made by Baykar Technologies in Turkey, the TB2 is a medium-altitude long-endurance UAV, capable of flying for over 24 hours non-stop. It has a wingspan of 12 meters and carries up to 4 smart munitions like the MAM-L, which are laser-guided bombs developed by Turkey's Roketsan. The MAM-L can strike targets over 8 kilometers away, and it's small and light, perfect for drone platforms. This combination of endurance, precision, and affordability is what made TB2 a star weapon for Ukraine in the early stages of the war. Now you might ask, why is hitting a small landing craft such a big deal? Because this strike shows that Ukraine can still hit moving targets at sea, using drones that were once thought to be obsolete in this war. Landing craft like the one hit are often used to transport troops, supplies, or equipment between riverbanks or coastlines, so taking one out mid-mission disrupts Russian logistics, slows down troop movements, and sends a clear warning: nowhere is safe, not even on the water. It also shows how flexible the TB2 is, not just for land targets but also for real-time naval engagements. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This strike suggests a shift in Ukrainian naval doctrine. In the past, Ukraine depended heavily on land-based artillery and ground-based drones, but now they're using drones as part of their naval arsenal, a move toward a more integrated warfare strategy. Also, remember that TB2s are cost-effective. They cost around $5 million, which is a fraction of what a missile system or a fighter jet costs. This gives smaller nations like Ukraine a chance to hit bigger targets, even in contested zones. And from Turkey's point of view, this is a perfect advertisement for its defense industry. The TB2's success keeps increasing Baykar's global demand and influence. While this strike is impressive, let's not ignore the challenges. In the past year, Russia's electronic warfare systems and air defenses have become more effective at jamming or shooting down TB2 drones. That's why their presence in Ukrainian skies had declined. So the fact that Ukraine managed to fly a TB2 undetected, or successfully, is impressive, but it also raises a question. Was this a one-time opportunity, or the start of a comeback for Turkish drones in this war? The future use of TB2s will depend on how well Ukraine can adapt them for low-risk, high-reward missions. To sum it up, this drone strike is much more than just another military headline. It shows how affordable, smart drones are transforming naval warfare, making ships vulnerable in rivers, coasts, and even open sea. For Ukraine, it's a tactical win. For the world, it's a glimpse into the future of hybrid warfare, where drones and humans work together across air, land, and sea. If you like this explanation, make sure to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe for more such defense and geopolitics content. See you in the next one.